We started by talking about the biology of gender and this idea about typically female bodies and typically male bodies, and that's what the binary system is based on. But in fact, that there's a whole range of naturally occurring variations, sometimes called intersex conditions, that represent the physical part. Gender is about also gender expression and the ways in which people perform gender, if you will, our dress, our clothing, our mannerisms, accessories, also many of the expectations that other people have of us based on our gender or that we might have of other people.
You know, I'm in my 60s. I was used to thinking of gender as a biological thing, and I wasn't really aware of the different elements.
She's a girl, and she identifies as a boy, but she looks just like a boy. And she doesn't get upset, which I had problems with identifying. And she loves boy things. She dresses like a boy, but she's happy as can be. Mm-hmm. And she told her parents, and they're the ones having the problem, but right. She's just fine with it.
This binary model we talk about is something we all come by quite honestly in this culture. And when you add other kinds of lenses, the families we grew up in and the communities we grew up in, our own religious affiliations and spiritual past, I don't want you to be too hard on yourself around that. And I really want to appreciate your willingness to be like, yeah, I want to think more about that. But I do find the universal experience of meeting the kids is like, okay, now I get it. Finally, the last aspect of gender is this notion of gender identity. Gender identity refers to the internal sense, who someone knows themselves to be. And while a lot of people will think of themselves as a boy or a girl, there's also individuals who will say, you know what, I kind of move between the two, or maybe even I don't even think about myself as gendered. I think of myself as just a person. I don't really look at gender.
Staff development for all teachers is important around this issue, I think. This is not something you can just give a piece of paper to a teacher and say, okay, read this and you'll be all, read this book and you'll be all together.